Welcome to this week's Healthcare Cybersecurity News Roundup from Heal Security Dispatch. For the latest sector-specific threat, risk, and alert intelligence, subscribe to our daily curated news and information service at healsecurity.com. In December, the Hospital for Sick Children in Toronto was the target of a Lockbit ransomware attack, which highlighted both the severe impact of cybercrime on the proper delivery of patient care and the financial implications for victims. The attack caused delays in medical imaging, as well as longer diagnostics and non-critical treatment wait times. And almost 3 weeks later, only 80% of priority systems were back online. The hospital's vulnerability to ransomware attacks led Moody's to deem it credit negative and warned that while cyber attacks on the healthcare sector will continue to increase, nonprofit hospitals are at very high risk. Aside from the effect on patient care and credit ratings, the attack again demonstrates the lengths to which cybercriminals will go and their continued targeting of the healthcare sector. This latest incident confirms that healthcare organizations must maintain a constant focus on cybersecurity and adopt a proactive, rather than reactive, cyber defense management culture. A report in the HIPAA Journal reveals that in the past decade, the electronic health records of almost 231 million U.S. patients were exposed, lost, or stolen as a result of criminal cyber attacks. Whilst the adoption of EHR has given patients more freedom and control over their medical data, the depth and breadth of personal and financial information contained within that data has made it a prime target for hackers and ransomware attacks. Although HIPAA regulations cover protected health information, there are currently no cross-sector standards for data encryption and security. Unless the healthcare industry sets and imposes those standards, government bodies are likely to step in and do it for them. Irrespective of how cybersecurity standards are implemented, they will require constant monitoring to keep pace in the ever-changing cyber threat landscape, must encompass third-party supply chains, and will only be effective with real-time communication, collaboration, and information sharing on cyber threats, risks, and attacks. Reports are emerging of a serious Lockbit ransomware attack on Toronto's University Health Network, which has impacted essential digital systems across its network of acute care hospitals and clinical facilities. The attack led the healthcare provider to warn patients that they may not be able to contact several departments and should expect significant delays when arriving for appointments. Although no confidential patient data was compromised in the attack, vital IT networks were affected, some of which are taking weeks to restore. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services advised that in 2021, 2 out of 3 U.S. healthcare firms were the target of ransomware attacks, potentially compromising patient records, crippling medical devices, and causing system outages for long periods. This latest attack is yet another reminder for firms across the healthcare sector to increase vigilance by continually monitoring sector-specific cyber threat, risk, and attack activity, and adopting a proactive cyber defense strategy to protect life-saving data and systems. The 2023 Allianz Risk Barometer report reveals that for the second year in a row, cyber incidents and business interruption top the list of concerns for C-suite executives. More than 50% of report contributors believe that cyber attacks are the prime cause of business interruption and supply chain disruption. A similar percentage state that data breaches are their main worry, especially as protection of confidential information is increasingly being enforced by legislation and regulations around the world. The problem is even more acute in the healthcare sector, as data theft or interference with medical devices and IT systems can severely disrupt the delivery of medical care for weeks or months, with life-threatening consequences. This again emphasizes that healthcare firms and their associated supply chains must improve their cyber defenses to fend off the constant threat of cyber attacks from criminal gangs and nation-state bad actors. Every healthcare provider relies on third-party vendors to provide essential IT services. However, many vendors lack proper security measures, making them a tempting backdoor to their clients' IT systems, evidenced by 55% of healthcare firms suffering a third-party data breach in the last year. Cloud-based storage is used by 73% of healthcare providers to store confidential medical data, but 61% of them reported a cyber attack on their cloud infrastructure in the last 12 months. A problem amplified by understaffing, a lack of expertise in cloud security, and budget constraints. Connected medical devices are essential to clinical service delivery, yet 53% of them are estimated to be at risk of cyber attacks, including IV pumps and VoIP devices, with poor password management the prime cause. To protect their organizations, healthcare providers must understand their vulnerabilities to these three attack vectors and develop an effective cybersecurity strategy to deal with them. And they should also continually educate staff on cyber risks and prepare effective disaster recovery and data backup procedures. Thank you for your time. I'm your host, AJ. To receive the latest healthcare cyber threat, risk, and alert intelligence, subscribe to our daily curated news and information service at healsecurity.com.